don't remember how it started, but he was like, I sensed he was gonna hit me. So I started to kind of fly away, but he caught up to me. And he had a lawnmower, which he was trying to like get me like mowed. Like he was like shoving it towards me, and like I was almost like flying into it. But eventually I just flew away. I'm like, fuck this. Because I knew I could just escape if I wanted to. So I just flew all the way back home. I think I'm forgetting things. So I wrote down a whole bunch. I was 29 years old. Because I flew back home. I flew back home and my sister got home. And she looked really good. There's like advancements in crazy cosmetic surgery. She looked younger than she does now. But I sensed she was older. She seemed really intelligent, a lot more smarter. And she had no idea what was going on. It was like I was always there. I wish I looked at myself in a mirror at the Indian guy's house. Oh. When I got to the Indian guy's house, I didn't go through the main big fancy gate. I went into the side gate. He had a cat. And the cat loved me. And when I got to the Indian guy's house, I was kinda, when I got through the gate and I started flying around. I'm remembering, thank you. So, flying around, he had like water all around him. All around like the home. But it was very modern. And I think it had like if I continued it would have been like a drop waterfall. But flying around his home looking in the windows, and I remember seeing like pet food dishes, and there's like a lamp near it with a chair. Lamp, chair, near pet food dish. This is gonna interpret wild. And then, till that, I had sex with him while looking in the mirror. And then I left, came back home. That's when the whole lawnmower shit happened. Flew home, flew all the way back home. There was a willow tree. We had a willow tree. I love willow trees. Came home, and my sister came home, and I was freaking out about something. I was freaking out that I had no idea where I was, but everything seemed so normal. I was freaking out that I couldn't find Mom. She never said Mom was away or anything. She didn't say Mom had gone out. But I was freaking out, I'm like, where's Mom? She wouldn't answer me. And she looked great. She looked like she just got home from work. She was wearing like a... It was a really cool design. She was wearing a robe, like a silk robe. Maybe I made it. She was wearing a silk robe shirt. It used to be a robe, like a silk robe. But it was cut up and re-sewn together. It was purple and pink. Oh my god, imagine if I saw that at work. I'd have to buy it. But she's wearing that. She's wearing like purple eyeshadow. She had her blonde hair still. She looked amazing. She said she was an accountant. And I kept freaking out. I'm like, what the hell's happening? I can fly around and all this stuff. And she's like, oh, I think I know what's going on. You drank some orange juice, didn't you? I'm like, no, I didn't. And then she took out this big glass jug of orange juice from the fridge. And she's like, oh, you have to be careful with this sometimes because sometimes there's bugs in it. And she was shaking around the orange juice and you could see little black bugs. And then she started dumping it down the sink. And then the phone rang right beside me. So I picked up the phone and it was some guy's voice. And it sounded like someone really familiar, but I had no idea who it was. And all he said to me is, you're gonna go down a level. And then after that, I fell through the floor into the basement. And then I came out of the basement. Phone call. Down level. Basement. And then I left my basement. And I went out. And I was facing the back, which is the same way I flew across the green field to this Indian guy's house. But I left the basement exit that was facing the back. And unlike the upper floor, the view I had was different but similar. I still had the mountains in the back, but I was lower and it was like Niagara Falls. It was totally Niagara Falls. It's the first thing I thought when I saw it. But we were like lower and it was like this huge, like tall, huge, like waterfall, like along the whole horizon. And I woke up because my roommate came out.